I never for 1 second have thought by being a hit songwriter means I'm a failed rock star. Never. And if someone else is thinking that about me, I'm sorry, you're so bored.
Today's guest is Justin Tranter, one of the most sought-after pop songwriters in the world, whose pen has helped shape some of the biggest records of the last decade. But their path didn't start there. In this episode, Justin talks about the pivotal career shift that took them from performing in front of 2,500 people as an artist to becoming a powerhouse songwriter behind global pop superstars. We talk about recognizing when it's time to pivot, trusting your gifts, even when the industry doesn't see them yet, and the courage it takes to redefine success on your own terms. Hi, Justin.
Hello, beautiful.
How are you?
I'm amazing. I'm so happy to see you.
We like to just get straight into it here because we gotta get to the shit.
We're all very busy.
Thank you.
I'm more than happy to just go right for it.
You of all of us, and I love you coming today to talk about your pivot because everybody can't do it.
Yeah.
Everybody can't do it.
Yeah.
And I both can understand why, but sometimes I'm like, hey, if something's not working,
gotta pivot.
You know, I think they say if it's not broke, don't fix it. But like when it is broke, what's the quote?
When it is broke, what's the quote? That rhymes.
Yes, that is the quote. Like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
But you have such a beautiful story about pivoting. I would say pivoting your dream and still having it all still come to reality. So let's start with this rock band.
Yes. I was in a band called Semi-Precious Weapons. It was like a glam punk band. I wore like 6 pounds of makeup and 6-inch heels. Never wore pants. Just like fishnets and a smile. And we did some cool stuff. We like opened for Gaga. We toured the world on our own a couple times. We were signed to 4 different record deals. Dropped from all 4 of them.
We'll get back to that.
Okay. Yeah.
But y'all were kind of a big deal. Like opening for Lady Gaga is not a...
Yeah, we were in New York City, we were a big deal. In New York, we were, we could sell, 2,500 tickets to a show a couple times a year with no hit. In New York City, we were doing really well. Gaga grew up in New York, was coming to our shows since she was like 19. Wow. When she became a superstar, took us on tour. So yeah, we were to a certain group of people, we were killing it, but not killing it financially ever. Okay. Killing ourselves financially.
Generally that's how it all starts, right? Like who just comes out the gate making money? But did you understand that at the time, or do you just understand that now? Like, hey, things are looking good. Lady Gaga's coming to our shows. It feels good.
Yep.
Don't worry, we'll start making money. Or were you conscious of?
No, I was just convinced I was going to be the biggest star in the world at any second. Okay. Just like I'm going to be a gajillionaire. Any second, the world's going to catch up. This is just fine. And then you get. Luckily, because we kept getting dropped, we would keep getting new advances every time we'd get signed. Now the advances kept getting smaller, but it was my full-time job for 7 years. Okay. So not making any sort of real money in those 7 years, but enough to survive, which I thought was amazing. To make music and play shows and have enough money to like eat and pay rent most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. Our band's most famous line is, "I can't pay my rent, but I'm fucking gorgeous." And t-shirts that said that sold. Our merch sold everywhere.
I was gonna say, that sounds like a good t-shirt.
Yeah, the couple years we did make decent money was because of that t-shirt. Wow. We were at like Hot Topic, Spencer's Gifts, and smartly, I just had it designed with my friend Tommy, where the band name was really small so that you could just buy the shirt and it didn't look like band merch. It just said, "I can't pay my rent, but I'm fucking gorgeous." But yeah, the dream was to be a rock star, but like a really big mainstream rock star. That was the goal.
Okay. And so Obviously, that means you're doing all the things that you have to do to be a mainstream rock star.
Well, I thought I was. Looking back now as a hitmaker, someone who deeply understands what makes a song big enough to travel the globe, what makes a song big enough to sustain a real mainstream career. Looking back, I wasn't doing anything. I was just convinced I could keep being as like in edgy underground as I wanted, and it would just go mainstream. And I didn't need to worry about structuring my songs better. I didn't need to worry about having better melodies. I was just like, well, the lyrics are so fucking fierce, and I'm so fierce that the world's just gonna agree with me at some point. But obviously, hindsight is 2020. I wouldn't wear pants. I was covered. I wasn't being indecent, but
You were ahead of your time.
I was ahead of my time
with no pants.
with the no pants, and expecting, well, why aren't they booking me for every TV show in the world? It's like, oh, well, you don't wear pants. You can't.
Was there anybody that you remember specifically who was telling you, hey, this is how it goes. This is what you have to do?
No, I really wish someone, no one really said anything. I think because if you came to our show and you saw the fan base there, they were so passionate. To that fan base, we were superstars. And so I think all the business people in our life, all the producers in our life just saw that and went, okay,
Do your thing.
do your thing. But I wish I had, now that we know, I don't have to tell you, there's a lot of A&Rs suck, but there's a couple great ones that can really explain to their artists what is required. If your dream is this, but you're doing this, you're never gonna get there. If you want this, you have to do this. Like, you can't. And I've watched legendary A&Rs like Wendy Goldstein be able to have those hard conversations and it actually really connect with a creative person. I'm an artist, right? But we've also seen A&Rs who tried to have that conversation and they destroyed it.
I'm like, I think I'm pretty convincing, and that conversation does not always work.
Right,
for
it's
me.
hard, right? It's hard.
And I'm like, hey, 1 + 1 = 2. So I'm just trying to.
I'm trying to show you.
Because you've been on both sides.
Yeah.
As a creative, what are you actually hearing when someone's telling you you have to do it this way? There's a formula, but you're like, no pants. Like,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
This is it.
I think that I would like to think that I'm smart enough that if someone did have the conversation, I would have heard it. Because actually I can think of one example right now where we had an A&R who was also a producer. And not Tricky Stewart, for anyone who knows my history. Tricky is the greatest to ever do it, and a sweetie pie. This is not about Tricky Stewart. Get out of the comments. Somebody else, because Tricky, we were assigned to Tricky, and he is a producer, but this is not about him. This is earlier in my career. And they just like, oh, give me the files, and then sent back, didn't change anything in the track besides the vocal, hard tune, because this was like 2009, where like hard auto-tune was like a thing. And that was the way someone was trying to show me, like, you need to move into the future and you need to modernize. But it was a really tasteless, making no sense, like hard vintage guitars with a fucking.
And no conversation.
And no conversation.
Here.
Just here you go, we want this. And that I've really resisted. I was like, I sound crazy. Like, this is, why do I have T-Pain tune, but it's not a T-Pain song? If it's a T-Pain song, give me the fucking T-Pain tune. Bow down. But that didn't really make sense. So that was someone's really bad way of trying to have that conversation. They didn't even have the conversation. They just
forcing it. Saying this is what's right.
Yeah.
Knowing everything that you know now and being someone
Yeah.
who I think is, I've seen have these conversations with an artist.
Yeah.
What would you have said to yourself? What would fourth deals done and we're like, babe, what changes should we make?
Yeah.
What would you have said if you kept the band going? What would you guys needed to have changed?
I would have said to myself, what's the goal? If the goal is to be a superstar, mainstream global superstar, then you don't have to do what anybody else is doing, but you have to find the version of yourself that the whole world can buy into. You have to go and co-write with different people. Go find because I wasn't co-writing. I was writing everything alone.
Okay.
And now, as a hitmaker, I don't write shit alone, and I never will. That seems insane. Not interested in writing a song alone, ever. But then I was like, no, I write alone. I'm amazing. So I went upside to myself, if your goal is to be a superstar, maybe you should co-write with people who have written songs that can go the distance. Learn from them, listen to them. Like, if the things you're doing have to match the goal you're trying to achieve. If I wanted to stay underground, indie, passionate, rabid fan base, I could keep doing what I was doing, but I wanted more. And so I would say to myself, if you want more, then you have to take the steps to do that and find the collaborators to do that. Collaboration, for me, I think can change everything. And like, I could still be myself. I could still be as femme and as fabulous and as gay as I wanted, but I could have put on pants. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's ways to be yourself, but like, I'm never gonna get on fucking The View unless I put pants on. And I wanted to be on The View. I loved that show back then, you know? Like,
if you knew better, you would wear pants will be the name of this episode. No problem. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I just want to talk about how the industry is today.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, because there's so many young people who have like made a song on TikTok or just posted something up in their bedroom, only wrote it by themselves, and are like top of the charts. There is this air now that like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I must know what I'm doing because it's worked once. So now I don't need somebody to come tell me to put pants on. I don't care that you've worked in the industry for 20 years. Don't tell me how to write a hit.
Right.
And I trust that it worked one time. But how do we cut through that?
Yeah.
Hey, babe, I'm glad your story worked out for you and you got here.
Yep.
But this is a business. This is an art. There actually is a formula to some of it.
Yeah. Anything with greatness has structure. There's a reason why songs have structure. There's a reason why marketing plans have worked time and time again. There's structure involved. And if you don't think that there is, then you don't actually care about art, because there's an art to marketing. There's an art to A&R. There's an art to management. There's an art to songwriting. There's an art to performing. And if you think that Shakespeare didn't understand his fucking structure, you're wrong. I was gonna say you're crazy, but that's not even, it doesn't even matter. I don't even need to make fun of you. You're just wrong.
Yeah, I don't think he was just vibing. I don't think Shakespeare was vibing in his room.
I think he was vibing. And you know, to start, he was probably vibing. And someone went, oh, that's pretty cool. Let's talk about this,
Structure
this,
that vibe.
Yeah. Of course, we all start with a vibe. I mean, your vibe is at 1,000,000. That's what makes you a great fucking manager. But you also have to learn the business to do it for a long time.
Yeah, very few people as structured as I am.
Right.
I don't like no structure.
Oh, give me a fucking schedule or kill me. Okay. I don't, when people are, oh, we'll get to the studio at some point. No, 1 o'clock.
Do you
now?
Mind you, that's like, you guys were fucking on time today. You weren't playing any games.
Always.
Do you feel at all that it's an age thing, or that could be anybody just not willing to listen, especially like you said, when something's working, sometimes it's hard for somebody to say, this shit isn't actually working. Just because a few things are working.
Right.
Holistically, this shit isn't working.
One thing, it goes back to what's the goal, right? So if your goal is to just randomly, hopefully go viral, that's not a business plan. That's not an artistic plan. So if your goal is to have a lot of hits, if your goal is to be a superstar for a long time, going viral once isn't gonna do it. It's helpful. It's really fun.
It's like a foot in the door.
When the algorithm gives you a gift, it's a great fucking foot in the door. But how many people have we seen who made a song in their bedroom and went viral for 2 weeks, chart for 2 weeks, and we haven't heard from them since? A lot.
Okay, so tell me about the moment where you said, this shit isn't working. I need to do something else.
We were signed to Tricky Stewart. He was helping us try to move into a slightly more alternative pop sound instead of an alternative vintage rock sound. He and I were really vibing and had an amazing time together. Had issues with label people who were like, we got to put pants on. Tricky didn't give a shit. Tricky's like, yeah, fierce, great. He didn't care. He believed in the whole thing, right? We were having trouble getting other people to believe in that. And when I think we were taken off of the Epic website before we were even dropped.
People used to keep it so much more real.
Delete. And our guitar player, for whatever reason, was like, checked the Epic website. Don't know why, but he did. And we were no longer on it. And we we're like, oh, this can't be good. But Tricky had left Epic. And so without him there, they didn't give a shit about us, right? So it was like, okay, I guess I need to figure something out. I always worked retail in my day jobs. I actually really enjoyed retail. Just talking to people, selling them shit. It's kind of like selling a song, It's like same kind of thing. So I was like, I guess I'm going to go back to retail. I gave it all I got. It is what it is. But Tricky had said to me, you're a really good songwriter. And there was a couple songs we had written for that album that he was executive producing that were like, even though we were trying to go more pop for that last round with him, he was like, yeah, this is too pop. Like, this will lose the identity of the band. This is too pop. Can I play it for Rihanna? Now, nothing ever came of that. But the thought that Tricky Stewart thought that I wrote something good enough for him, the man that fucking co-wrote and produced Umbrella, if he thought I wrote something good enough to play for Miss Umbrella herself, maybe I'm a really good songwriter. And so my publisher, the person who signed us, had signed the band to publishing. Lots of inside baseball here. Sorry if you're not in the music business and these terms don't make sense. Amber can explain to you in the comments. The band got signed to a publishing deal. The person who signed us had left the company. Big John, publishing legend, Sweetie Pie, took over Warner Chappell, where I was signed at the time. And Big John said, well, before we drop this band, so some of the new A&Rs, now that he took it over, someone should go hang out with the lead singer. Tricky told me he's a really good songwriter. Hung out with them and was like, guys, I think the band is done. They're my brothers. I love them. But like, Epic just took us off their website. Like, I don't know if I can go and try to find a fifth record deal. What do you think about putting me in sessions to write songs for other people?
Let me ask you a question.
Please.
We're not going for a fifth record deal. We're back at retail, thinking about our life and what we're gonna do. Yeah. You never had the conversation with yourself like, oh, maybe we keep the band going, but we switch genres. Maybe we put pants on. Maybe it was like, it's my way or it's gonna be a different way.
No, I didn't. There was a slight genre tweak with the Tricky album, but with doing that and still not getting the industry on board, even with Tricky's fucking cosign, like I was just like, fuck it. And also I was the youngest person in the band and I was 33 when this happened. Okay. So this was, or I mean, I maybe 32 because this was like 13 years, I'm 45 now. It was like 13 years ago. So it's also like, I don't think that it's not that I was too old. It was that I was 33 and I had already gotten dropped 4 times. You know what I mean? Like I think that we're afraid of age way more than we should be in ourselves and in the business and in the planet. But so it wasn't like, oh shit, you're old. It was like, I can't try again. I can't do it again. But yeah, I probably like record deal 2, I probably should have tried to change.
But it's important to note that you did try. You were not so stubborn that
the last round I finally did and was really looking sonically to Tricky. one video finally did put pants on, only had like, just gold eyeshadow, not a full face. You know what I mean? I tried.
Toned it down a
I
little
tried some
bit.
shit. Yeah,
Okay.
I tried some shit.
'Cause I think it's important
Yeah.
note for it, whether it works or not,
Right.
that at some point, if you are going to try, you have to make some
Well,
adjustments.
And
right?
to that, we did our song Aviation High, the video where I put pants on. That song is our only one that ever got any radio play so it was like, I think it like went to like 22 on alternative radio. So I did do like a tiny change, and it did show the best results that we had yet.
Okay.
Because it wasn't as good as it should have been. I can look back and be honest now. It wasn't as good as it should have been. It then also kind of pissed off our fan base.
Okay.
Because I think that you can do a genre switch up, you can do a fashion pivot, and your fan base will love it and celebrate it if it's really good. And it wasn't good enough. I didn't know that at the time. I thought it was perfect. So then to like piss off your original fan base because it's no longer punk, but then not score the home run, that's also really risky.
Okay.
And I think that a lot of creatives, when someone's trying to have that conversation with them, a lot of artists of like, hey, let's do a little pivot, let's do a little compromise, let's do a little collaboration, let's do a little this. They think of the bad stories of like when someone tried and they failed.
Yeah.
But of course, your manager and your A&R is not hoping you're gonna fail.
Right.
They're hoping you do a pivot and kill it.
I use The Weeknd as an example all the time. I'm like, I know his core fans.
Yeah.
When he went Starboy, were like, excuse me, where is the dark, drug-fueled, like coke night that I'm like this music that I'm looking for? But it was great. It was, and that was such a big pivot for him.
Yeah.
But I think what you're saying is so important. Like, if you're going to do something like that, if you're going to abandon your core fan base for anything,
It better be
fucking
the top. Yeah.
Can't feel my face.
Exactly. And I think that like, that's a perfect example of like, clearly his goal was this. And so with Wendy Goldstein connecting him to different co-writers and producers that he hadn't met before, then his actions started matching his goal. His art started matching the goal.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that. I tried a little bit near the end, but it just wasn't good enough, So then I asked, because Tricky had planted the seed, I asked my new publisher, this person I'd never met, like, can you put me in sessions for other people? And every day I'm so glad that I was like, I don't need to be the famous person. I can be the person behind the famous person. And that changed my life, saved my life, creatively fulfilled. When I had my first hit, which was Fall Out Boy's Centuries,
okay,
I really thought, like, hearing in that chorus of Centuries, I pretty much wrote the bulk of it alone. My friend Raja wrote the insane melody for the post hook. But like that, the chorus was like mine. The main lyric I wrote in my bedroom after watching a Marsha P. Johnson YouTube documentary. Like that was mine. And I really thought when I heard it on the radio, I was gonna be pissed that I wasn't singing it. And I was over the moon, excited, thrilled. And I really like impressed myself that like my ego, because we all know songwriters get mad all of a sudden when they wrote something for somebody else and it's a hit and they're like, oh wait, I should have been the star. I think because I was beaten down so bad in the industry as an artist. When I had I was 34 when that came out. I was so broke, living in a 2-bedroom house with 6 people. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I thought the dream was to be famous, but I was smart enough to pivot. And I guess the dream was just to write songs that the whole world heard. Mm-hmm. And I really expected myself, and especially if anyone goes and like looks at my band, like it was really built on this like femme gay ego in a playful way, but like there was a big ego as a part of that persona. And so I like assumed I was going to be furious and jealous of myself or jealous of Fall Out Boy or jealous of whatever. And I was like deeply overjoyed. And I was like, I did the right thing.
You felt that way all the way up to hearing that on the radio.
I was convinced I was going to be pissed. And then I heard it on the radio and I was the opposite of pissed. I was overjoyed. And I was like, oh, this is, and I hadn't officially quit the band yet. We would still do a show or two here, there. We were all still living in the same house together. We knew it was coming to an end because I was in sessions all day with other people. The second that happened, I'll never forget, it was like number 1 on iTunes, right? Which in 2014, iTunes was king. Drummer, because we lived together, Dan, dear friend, still to this day, walked into my room and was like, well, don't you want to do it for yourself now? Like, you just proved you can write a hit. Like, do it for us. Let's do it. And I was like, no.
Wow.
I'm going to do this. This door has opened for me. I'm not going to go and try to like relaunch the band off the back of this success and miss out all the opportunities that are going to come to me now as a writer from this song. That would be dumb. That would be ego driven. That would be attention driven. I'm going to use this door that has opened for me and I'm going to run the fuck through it. And I just wrote fucking 8 songs a week ever since.
How are you showing up in those rooms before to go write these records when you kind of thought like, okay, I should still be the person, versus now when you say I'm going to run through the door? Like, what changed in you?
The first 3 months that I was like really trying to write songs for other people, I was chasing trends hard, because that's what you do. You know, it's like flow ride is massive. Let me try to write a flow ride hook. And if you know anything about my writing, that's a really funny thought. It's not gonna work. And it's no shade, but I'm not gonna be good at that. Or even like Sia, who I fucking worship, right? Chandelier is the biggest song in the world at the time. And I'm thinking, well, I gotta write songs like Chandelier, which I absolutely worship Sia, but trying to do something else, trying to chase the trend, I realized some people are really good at it. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you know writers and producers who are so fucking good at going, oh, this is hot right now, let me jump on it, and they kill it. Yeah. I learned for myself I couldn't do it because the first day as a writer for other people that I wrote a song that I liked. There's a song called Nostalgic that Kelly Clarkson ended up cutting. And I was like, oh wait, I like this. Like, me trying to write EDM shit, which I don't know a lot about, me trying to write hooks for Flowrider, which I don't know a lot about. I was just failing because I was impersonating things I don't know, you know? But when I wrote that song, it was like, oh wait, this is awesome. And she cut it like a week later. She got pregnant, so it didn't come out until a lot later. But it was like, oh fuck. So my first cut is a song that I actually like. That was really, really exciting. And then the way that I changed by showing up in rooms, the moment I remember vividly is the day I met Julia Michaels, and me and Julia, who were still dear friends and write together when it makes sense. Well, we had a whole crazy run together of Justin Bieber's Sorry, Selena Gomez, Good For You, Selena Gomez, Hands to Myself, Nick Jonas, Close, Janelle Monáe, Make Me Feel, half of a Britney Spears album. Like, we went on a run together. And I'll never forget the first day I met her. She hadn't written, she was like 19. She'd only written with like this one posse of people and wanted to try to meet new people. And then she got like, and she's talked about her anxiety publicly. She has a song called Anxiety, so I'm not spilling tea. Yeah, I'm not spilling tea. She was really, her anxiety was getting the best of her, and the session was starting really weird and bumpy, and I suggested a song title called Sick of This. And I was like, oh, like, I love you so much. I'll never get sick of this, right? And her fabulous, angsty 19-year-old brain immediately went, well, what if it's like our relationship is so fucked up that I'll never get sick of it? I'll never be bored. This will be, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. Great. And then she literally, her anxiety was so bad that she was like, I'm gonna go in the closet. And she like kicks open this closet door. And with my title, sings this whole chorus with my title in it. And it was the best melody I had ever been in the room with, you know? I knew, even though we were writing for other people, she's the artist here. She wants to write about her life. She wants to write about what she's feeling. She wants to lead the way. That's how she's gonna shine right now. I'm gonna be her support. So yes, I'm a great fucking writer and I co-wrote those songs with her, but it was really taking a back seat, proudly, happily.
You're very good at these like micro goals. You, at first in the band where this didn't work out, you had this big picture of, I want to be a superstar. I'm meant to be a gajillionaire superstar. And it's like, how do we get there? I don't know, because what the hell is that?
Yep.
And then on this pivot, I've heard you say really specific things that it's like, no, the goal is not to do this. It's to write songs that the world gets to hear, right? That's a different type of goal. It's achievable. Yeah. It's actually, even though it's big, it's realistic, right? Yeah. You went in that room and said, oh, my goal here is to make this girl a star, to make sure that she's putting out or writing the best songs that she can write. Yep. I'm here to pour into somebody. Yep. I don't know if everybody, I don't know if you know, but I don't know if everybody knows how to get to kind of taking these goals and getting specific, getting achievable with their goals.
For me, once I started writing with and for other people, it wasn't about my band. Once I started that part, I really grabbed on quickly and understood it quick that every day, every session's a new goal. And some sessions I need to lead the way. You know, like Cake by the Ocean is very much my personality. You know, like, and Joe Jonas and I got along really well, really quick. But like, I knew I needed to lead the way in that situation. With Julia, I knew, okay, this session requires backseat. So when what was so beautiful, the way I was able to lock into it so quick. I mean, I had my first hit within only a year of writing for other people, which at the time I thought was taking way too long. But now that I know this side of the business very well,
quick.
That's crazy. That shit should be 7 years, 8 years. Like I don't want to say I got lucky because I put in the way more than the 10,000 hours by writing songs in my band days, in every other part of my career, right? But it went quick. And the main reason I locked in is, yes, I'm a great writer, but I was able to see every day is a different goal. And I can do that day. This session is this goal. And I was able to really quickly read the room and know who I needed to be that day. And if I need to lead, if we're fully 50-50, or if I'm backseat, I can do all of those things. I also learned really quickly that I don't have to do everything. So people say to me a lot, wow, it's crazy you can genre hop. You're like, if I look at your discography, it's insane, from Cardi B to Imagine Dragons to Chappell Roan to Selena, like you're just everywhere, to Janelle, to all of it. And I'm like, well, but I have different co-writers for all of those different genres. Because if we're going alternative pop rock, I can really handle a lot of that. The second we're trying to get like current trendy pop melodies, I need someone fucking younger. I'm old. But I'll make that young bitch the best version of herself that day. Yeah. And we're gonna kill it. If we're talking R&B, you do not want to hear me try to write an R&B melody. I'm gonna embarrass myself and everyone's gonna be uncomfortable. But I can help you structure it better. I can write lyrics with you. I can make sure the producer is elevating everything to where it needs to be. And that was the big change for me of learning. Because in the band, I was like, I must write, I must perform. I must style. I must direct the video. I'm going to bleach my own hair. I'm going to, just like, it was insane. And then going, oh, wow, I just need to be good at what I'm good at.
Yeah.
And then everybody else can be good at what they're good at.
You're very aware of yourself. And I think that people generally can lack a sense of personal awareness.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big believer in like ego death. I don't like that because I feel like ego to me is like on a knob system. So, like sometimes you need to turn it down and sometimes you need to turn it up. And when I hear you speaking, that's what I hear. You're like, when I know my gift. So if I'm going in to write Cake by the Ocean, I turn my ego all the way up so I can do this. This is what I do. But if I need somebody to come in and say what the kids are saying so we can get this Cardi B one right, you turn that knob down and say, come, fill in where I need help.
Yeah.
And I think everybody thinks that ego is an on or off switch. Either you're an ego fucking maniac, which you've been there.
Yeah.
Or you turn it off and all ego is I, right? It's a sense of yourself. When you turn your ego off or kill your ego, who are you?
Then you're not doing anything.
There's no I, there's no you. So I hear you managing this control so well because you know yourself now.
Eventually I did. Right.
Yes. Now it seems like and I don't know if there was anything that you did specifically to become more aware, but all I hear now is that you're like, oh yeah, I know who I am. I know what I bring. And when I don't bring it, I'll bring somebody to bring it.
Right. I think if I did, I had no choice but to learn it because it was either that or go back to retail. And again, it's not shade to people who work retail. I've genuinely loved it. But I went to an arts high school for musical theater. I went to college for songwriting. That was another great pivot. That was like the songwriting pivot that was the last chance, right? College pivot, I applied to 7 schools, 6 for musical theater, 1 for songwriting. I got rejected to every single musical theater school. So I guess I write songs now.
You weren't reading the room then. Or seeing the sign.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I showed up to most of those fucking auditions and I sang a song called Broadway Baby, which is for a woman. And I was like, I don't care. This is my shit. Which now I bet if you audition for musical theater school with like a gender swapped song, it probably would be received a lot better. This was 1998, honey. They thought I was fucking crazy.
Dare I ask if you have pants on?
No, tights for sure. Yeah.
So now that you've said this, you've had your gifts for a long time.
Yeah.
It's always been the same gifts.
I don't think I was very good when I was young.
Okay.
I think the best gift I have is I'm willing to work really, really hard and hard to get good, hard to get an opportunity, hard to anything. But like, I have teachers from my high school was a really small arts high school, and I'm on the board and I do a lot to raise money for them. They need money. Please donate the Chicago Academy for the Arts. Thank you. So I have teachers from high school that I'm still really close with. And my one teacher, Marie Sinquamani, who was the teacher who really pushed me to write songs, she laughed about like, you were a bad singer. Like you were out of tune as fuck. And like you thought I was hiring you. I was being nice. Like you sucked. And I'm a good singer now, by the way. I'm actually very good. I was not good.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I'm going to figure this out.
I think that people misuse their gifts sometimes because they don't understand them or they don't understand how they can apply to other things, right? So your gift, all the gifts that you've had, because you have several, hard work obviously is one of them, but in your band, you seem to be misusing some of your gifts, but you actually understood how those gifts could translate to something else.
Yeah.
You become a superstar anyway. And
in my own world.
And that's all you ever wanted in the first place.
Yeah.
You weren't specific enough in the band,
but
you translated those gifts into something that actually still helps you get where you were trying to go.
Yeah. Well, and it is like, it's all meant to be as long as you don't give up. But it's not that simple. It's as long as you don't give up and as long as you're willing to fucking pivot, to read the room. If I would have just gone, no, I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing in the band, exactly how we did it, how we got famous in New York is gonna get us famous everywhere. If I kept trying to do that until I was 50, that's insane. So it's not about not giving up. It's about just not giving up. It's about Don't give up, but learn, change, try something different. If music is your love, whatever your love is, you might be in the wrong spot. You might be in the wrong part of the music business. If your dream is to make movies, you might, if you are hitting a wall over and over and over, don't give up your love of movies, but maybe examine and see if you're in the wrong spot, in the wrong role in the movie business. That, I think, is, everyone gets confused of the don't give up, but you can't keep doing the same fucking thing over and over and hoping for different results. This is so
important.
Yeah.
This is so, because the 2 Chainz Jelly Roll debate that I'm like, people are like, yeah, see, they did it, so I should just keep rapping and doing my thing, because I might make it when I'm 45, and I'm gonna be Jelly Roll. They're anomalies, right? People love to bring them up in conversation, but I'm like, oh, but you don't understand.
Well, they also don't understand Jelly Roll.
They don't understand 2 Chainz. They don't understand the adjustments that made it work.
Exactly. I mean, Jelly went from rapping to country.
I watched his documentary.
Oh, God bless you.
Yes. It was giving jail. It was giving all types of trials and tribulations. Yeah. It's very good, by the way.
Okay.
But he changed.
Right. Yeah. A big pivot.
A big pivot.
Yeah.
Same goal. We get to the goal.
Yep.
2 Chainz. We just had him on. Doing great.
Cool.
Doing great as Titty Boy. What is that?
Yeah, I've always forget.
Exactly. He says, this name's not going to work. No. Let's change it. Superstar.
Yeah.
Nobody's you've already said it. Nobody's seeing that, like, you don't have to give up, but you must adjust.
You must.
Something needs to change.
Yep.
You're not just going to be right in the 10th year. What are you doing to meet the time?
Yeah.
What preparation have you done?
Yeah.
And it's in those adjustments. It's in that pivot. It's in that being willing to show up, and you've used your gift the whole time.
Right.
Your gift was hard work.
Right.
So anything that you worked hard at, you were going to reach some level of success because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how, as someone who's pivoted, for anyone who hasn't pivoted yet.
Yeah.
Just gush about how fucking happy you are you made the change. Look at your life.
It's, I have the best example. I think you've met my parents. My parents are the coolest people I've ever met. I got so lucky. I won the fucking lottery. The only thing that they say that annoys me is when they go, just, I'll every now and then I'll perform for like charity stuff. Like I'll sing my hits to raise money for something. You're just so good up there. Everyone can't believe how good you are. Oh, don't you just wanna, isn't it time to make an album? Isn't it time to go back on tour? No, that's crazy. Look at this gift that I have been given. Why would I put middle fingers to this? People would kill to write. I have like over 20 hits. People would kill for this. Why would I fuck it up by trying to be a pop star at 700 years old? That is crazy. That is crazy. So the pivot, it revealed to me that I was smarter than I thought I was. It revealed to me that I can be more than just the center of attention, which is a really nice feeling. Makes me feel like, oh, I'm not a monster. You know what I mean? Like, and also for me, and I bet a lot of people, because of your pedigree and your history in this business, a lot of people watch these podcasts want to be stars and they're trying to learn from you. So this is no shade if you want to be a star. I did too. I'm so glad that I get to be like a star in my world, but I get to go to dinner and maybe only like 1 out of 30 dinners does someone come up and want to talk to me. And normally they're really nice because they're a fan of my songs, which is different than like a parasocial relationship that you're a fan of my life or whatever. Like they're just a fan of my craft.
So you really didn't want to be a gajillionaire superstar.
Listen, I have a lot of friends and co-writers who are fucking superstars. They don't like it. It's not fun.
I know a girl that doesn't like being famous.
It's not fun.
I think people don't know what they're dreaming about.
Yeah.
You didn't. Now you've seen it and you're like, oh, thank God I saved myself. How how does a young person or everyone who's watching that says, I do want to be a superstar, how do you make sure? How do you?
Sure. I think that no one should be allowed to get a record deal. I'm speaking broadly and ridiculously, but I kind of mean it, until they're like 25.
Okay.
It's not like your frontal lobe is still lobing. You know what I mean? Like, you're not ready to know if you actually want to lose your anonymity.
Mm.
You don't know what that means. You know, like my heart goes so deeply out to anyone who got famous under 25, especially under 18. Because of course you love being in the school play, and some crazy opportunity comes up to audition for a TV show. Your parents don't want to stop you from that exciting opportunity, but nobody knows what that means. You're fucking 14 and now you can't go to the beach. That's crazy. You have to bring fucking security to your friend's birthday party. That's crazy. Security at your friend's birthday party. That's fucked up.
I'm like, that sounds like a real story.
It is. I can think of a specific one. It was like this chill house party, and then this very lovely person walks in with security, and she needed to. Like, you never know what the fuck is going to happen. That's not a cut to needing security. You need it, but that's the thing you don't realize. It's like, oh wait, so now I have to go to a house party with security.
I think it's just not enough to put these things out there and say, I want to be famous, I want to be a superstar, and to not know what they mean. I think what you've brought into the room, being specific, is very important.
Yeah.
You know, because I think if you ask a person that, do you want to have to bring security to your friend's birthday party? They'd be like, no, that's silly.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So do you want to be Bad Bunny, or do you want to be, you know, I don't think those realities are being put in.
I thought I could not, when I was in my 20s and I couldn't wait till I had to have security. I thought that'd be so fabulous, because you don't know what it actually means. You just see the paparazzi pictures, and I just thought it'd be so fabulous to be in full makeup and in heels, and like someone's helping me get out of the car who's like 10 feet taller than me. That sounded hot. You don't realize that's just that paparazzi picture. That's 2 seconds of their day. That's security guards also at dinner.
While you're on a date, watching you from another table, sitting there
on a fucking
he's
date.
Not eating, but he's looking at you, looking at him on your date, and I guess hoping nobody comes in and takes a picture of you while you're just trying to find a man.
Couldn't be me. I thought it was supposed to be me, but I didn't understand what it meant.
Well, and that's fair. I think that it's great that you're not like, I knew it all along. Like, you think that, but then you see shit. And I think putting yourself in a position to see some shit is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all gotta come up out of these bedrooms and see if the dream is real.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I love that. And I think you're like a mega superstar to me. Like, I've gone into the Grammys and you're on the stage hosting it. I'm like, that is so cool. Like, I feel like you are still doing every single thing you would have been doing in that band. Yeah. If not more, if you know, if you guys would have took that 5th deal and just vibed, like the dream, whatever's supposed to happen for you still happens for you, but you had to make the decision to use your gift properly.
Yeah. I love doing it. It's such an honor, and it's so cool because it's just the pre-telecast is just your contemporaries. It's just your co-writers. It's just your
and me
workmates. You know what I mean? It's just right, but we're work friends. You know what I mean? Like, it's just how cool. So I get to be a star to just the people who really understand how the fucking donuts are made, or whatever the fucking phrase is. You know, like, how I get to be a star to just this group of people who really understand what goes into a hit. That's cool.
I think it's hilarious that you think that people outside of your donut shop don't know you.
Gay people do. Gay people do.
I'm like, let's get fucking real.
Yeah, like if I go to gay bars, I am kind of famous, but not where I need to bring security.
But that's also something you care about and a
Deeply.
community that you want to be inspirational to.
Yeah.
So I think just, again, everyone's not going to perform at the Super Bowl. Everyone may not change everybody's life. But I think if you change a couple lives or like one person that looks at you and says, I can do this too.
Yeah.
Pants or no pants. Like, did you not have a great life?
Yeah.
Like, are you guys not grateful for that? But it has to be the whole world.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of us are going to take over the world.
Right. Well, and it's you got to really be built for it.
Yeah.
You know, and we all see the superstars who you know are built for it because they've been doing it for 20 plus years and they're still killing it and they still love it.
And we see the ones that are not.
Right.
And that's tough.
Yeah. And that's okay though. You know, not everybody's meant to be everything, you know? Yeah.
If you had one thing to tell that young man or young woman who's fucking on it and they've been at it for years and years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
And they got one breath left in them before they head back to wherever they got to head back to. What would you tell them to do right now so they can still keep going? I will say, like you said, don't give up, but how do they keep going?
Really, really, really come to terms with your strengths, which also means knowing your weaknesses. And you gotta know what you're not good at so that you can go and collaborate with people who are good at it. Because yes, I pivoted from trying to be singing the songs to the person who's just writing the songs. But the reason why I got good at that so quickly and I navigated that part of the business so quickly is because I immediately went after I'm not bullshitting, after 5 sessions with different people, going, oh, she's way better at that than I am. Oh, he's way better at that than I am. Awesome. But I'm really good at this. Whatever. You know, so I would say really examine even more importantly, knowing what you're good at, knowing what you're bad at or average at, right? If you're trying to achieve greatness, being good at something isn't enough. What are you great at? And anything that isn't great, you're bad at it. Because if you're trying to make something that is good enough that the whole world hears or sees or both, it has to be great. So really figure out what you aren't great at and find collaborators who are great at it. And that doesn't mean that you're less than. That means that you're smarter, that you're willing to admit what you're not great at so somebody else can be great at it and help you. Like thinking you have to do everything is never gonna work.
If they're scared to pivot.
It doesn't mean you failed. I say, right, because I think for me, I had a couple thoughts of, if I go and do this, it means I failed at trying to be a rock star. It doesn't mean you failed. Because if your dream is to be in advertising, if your dream is to be in music, if your dream is to be in movies, that's the dream. What else can you do inside of it? So the fail is fully quitting. That's a fail. The fail is continuing trying to do something that isn't working. And so then it eventually does fully fail. Those things are quitting is failing is failing. Pivoting is not failing. If it's still what you love, but maybe just a different job in that ecosystem of what you love, that's not fucking failing. Like I never for 1 second have thought by being a hit songwriter means I'm a failed rock star. Never. And if someone else is thinking that about me, I'm sorry, you're so bored. Like, that's none of my business. Like, go ahead, think that. You know what I mean? Pivoting is not failing. Pivoting is being smart.
When we get to the message, I don't touch it.
We go home.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Love you.
That was awesome. I learned so many new things about you today.
Yeah, I know.
That was awesome.
You're awesome.